Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on out there, man? Tuesday night, and it's postseason, man. Postseason football, man, is full effect, man. We had some great games over the past weekend. We had a couple of upsets,
Yeah.
but were they really upsets? Knowing about what those two teams went through at the end of the season, not
Ooh.
really. But man, we got a great show for y'all as always, man. We gonna talk about the head coaching search, man, for the Atlanta Falcons, man, is in full swing. And there's one name that came across the press yesterday, and
Oh
fans
boy.
lost their mind. But we're gonna get into that. But before we do, man, we got to give y'all the dopest intro
Already slow.
right on YouTube, man. What's going on, man? We back. But before we get into it,
Yo,
man,
yo,
tell the people what's up.
yo. Welcome back to the 95 North Sports Machine Forever. We took a week off, man. Had to handle some BI, but we back now. And hey, it's some hot topics going on in the NFL. Some hot topics going on for these Atlanta Falcons. So many rumors swirling around these Atlanta Falcons right now. And one in particular, the most probably would be Mr. Hoodie himself, Bill Belichick. So we're gonna get right into it here in a few minutes. But I just want to say, man, I'm happy to be back on the show with Smitty. Oh, snap! He done pulled the damn hoodie up.
I done pulled the hoodie up.
Damn. Well, y'all, we are in for a show. Well, welcome back, everybody. Happy to be back on the show. Happy to be back in front of all you guys, the Falcon faithful. Definitely missed you guys, man. So happy to be back in front of you guys, man. Shout out to the chat already. We already know you guys are coming on in here. And yeah, we're going to talk about these Atlanta Falcon rumors, this coaching carousel, interview carousel that we got going on right now. Hoodie Smitty. We got Hoodie Smitty in this thing.
That carousel gonna keep on turning, bro. To be honest, and I don't really know when it's gonna stop. They have about 10 coaches on the slate right now, and it's half and half. And I don't care nothing about race, but they got to do their due diligence when it comes to minority coaches. And we'll see how it turns out, man. But we all know who the front runner is and all that good stuff. It's the man in the background. If y'all looking at the show on YouTube or live, it just, to me, to be honest, it's really just a one-man race. And there's really no way out of it, man. Let's be honest about it. And I'm just going to pop it up right quick and let y'all know the coaches that they have on slate to be interviewed. Mm-hmm. And these are the coaches right here that are going to be slated for the Falcons to be talking to. We talk about Belichick, and they have it in order actually of experience, which I like, which give y'all a good idea of how they looking at it. But you're looking at Bill Belichick, Steve Wilkes, Raheem Morris, Evero from Carolina, Mike McDonald, Ben Johnson, Anthony Weaver from Baltimore, who's also associate head coach, and Brian Callahan, which I think is going to be a sneaky good interview.
Don't sleep on Callahan.
I'll get to that in a second. Antonio Pierce, who's in Las Vegas, who I think he's actually, I think he got that Las Vegas thing sold up. So Aaron Glenn and Bobby Slovic in Houston, who has a playoff game next week. They requested those last two interviews. Both of those teams are still in the playoffs. So it's going to be after that. And as I looked at Aaron Glenn, man, I got to thinking, I didn't think about the ties with Atlanta. He worked with Ryan Nielsen in New Orleans. Terry Fontenot hired him in New Orleans. So he has ties to Atlanta as well, which is why Aaron Glenn could be another sneaky good interview. So all of these guys got ties somehow. A couple of them do actually. I think Steve Wilkes, he has ties. Brian Callahan, Antonio Pierce, Aaron Glenn, all these guys have ties. And you know that Bobby Slovic, he's off that Mike Shanahan tree. and that's going to be another sticky good. Now he's young, man. He's still young. He's only 37 years old.
I
But you
think
got
like he's the youngest out of these guys. I
right,
think McDonald has him by a few months, if I'm not mistaken.
right,
But yeah,
right.
Slowick, yeah, definitely a name, definitely a hot name.
And you got to think about it too, man. When you talk about Slovak, being in that Shanahan tree, Arthur Blank is familiar with the Shanahan family. So this is another tie. Um, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Out of those, now I know we were talking offline, man. You had one name you want to throw in. Throw it out right quick.
Yeah, man, I'm surprised that this name hasn't been mentioned to even be interviewed yet, and it is Mr. Joe Brady. I am very surprised that Joe Brady's name has not been mentioned, being a former national champion coach. And also, he was a quarterbacks coach down in Carolina. We already know that was a shit show. Goes to Buffalo, quarterback coach. Okay. Gets the interim OC job. And I be damned. Look at those Buffalo Bills now. It's just the little things, man, when people put their touch on things to be able to make a team better. I'm surprised the Atlanta Falcons are not trying to at least try to get an interview with a guy like that.
Right, right. But I'm gonna give a shout out to the chat right quick, man. We're gonna keep
Oh,
it
yeah.
rolling. But
Oh, yeah.
our boy Alberto, Mr. 95 North, man, he couldn't make it tonight. He had prior engagement, so
Right.
he apologized to y'all for not being able to show up. But man, hey,
You know,
life's
Birdo
coming
will
at
be
you in
back.
full speed, man. But Berto, man, praying for you. Make it home safe. It's bad weather up there in the north.
It
So pray
is.
for Berto, man, to make it home safe. And we'll see him soon, man. Trust me. And he's gonna put out more videos this off season. If he gets the chance. And y'all gonna get a full view. And shout out to him as well because he hit 2,000 subs over the weekend. So
Hey,
he's been
shout out
doing his
my
thing,
brother.
man.
Did
He's been
not
doing his
know that.
thing.
Congrats.
But
Congrats to
William
you, brother.
Amy, what's good, my dude? Marlon
Shout out.
Cozy. Marley Morrow, what's up, man?
What
Kevin
it do? What it
O'Connor,
do?
Jay Knight. Uh, he followed me on Twitter, man. Always
Oh,
talking.
yeah, I know who Jaden is. Yeah.
SRT Sports Talk Radio. That's my fellas over at SRT on iHeartRadio. One of them is actually going to join us before the show is over. So y'all
Facts.
get to talk to him. Zoe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Zoe, Zoe, I can't pronounce that. Y'all know I'm bad with names. Said I don't mind Bill. If we trade up for a quarterback, if we draft a quarterback, we have to get somebody a bit newer. That makes sense. I can see that. Marcus Coleman, nephew Isaiah Davis, Game Breaker Media. Y'all go check him out.
Mhm.
Kenny Sabria, what's up, man?
What up? What up?
Our boy RGATL for life, the plug, man.
RJ.
C Dub, what's up, man? Tyreek Johnson, King ATL supporter, man. Always supporting your boys, man. And he's right. A lot is
Yep.
about to
A
change.
lot
So
is about to change.
we'll see how it plays out, man. But Marcus Coleman, Super Cancer 85,
Mhm.
says why the Falcons are already falconing by not scheduling interviewing Jim Harbaugh. They cease to amaze me at how they find ways to prevent their own success. Now, see, this is the thing about Jim Harbaugh that y'all may not know.
Mhm.
They could have probably talked to his agent already. He's probably told him he's probably not interested in the job. So we don't
It's a
know.
possibility of
Uh,
that.
yeah, because if they have all these guys that you see on the screen, the candidates on the screen already, his name would be on there. Trust me.
Right.
And I know he's coming off a college championship, and he
Right.
has little to not chance of switching over. But maybe he declined the job. Who knows?
And then you
I mean,
gotta understand, excuse me, and then you
go
gotta
ahead.
understand this too, that Michigan is still trying to negotiate themselves. They're trying to get Jim back.
Right.
And so it's a few things, few variables going on with that. But I like that Smitty, because it's definitely a possibility that they reached out to him and he was like, nah, I'm not sure about coming to Atlanta. Nah, I don't think so.
Facts.
Because like you
Whew.
said, his name would definitely be on this list, like Bill Belichick. And I'm not going to lie, Jim Harbaugh was definitely in my top three, and Bill Belichick was not. I'm just that's just my personal three. But Jim Harbaugh, it's a possibility. It may be a no-go for Atlanta. It may
And
be.
the
Yeah.
thing that I like the most about Jim Harbaugh, and his brother alluded to it, on the interview was he's a great team builder. He can build a team from top to bottom, and I agree with that because
I
if you
do
look at what
too.
he did in San Francisco, he did an awesome job before moving on back to college football. But
Shoot, he
carrying that
did
team to
well
the Super
before
Bowl
then too.
with a quarterback such as Colin Kaepernick, who really haven't had much experience.
Hmm.
Then you look at Alex Smith. He had Alex Smith for a little while, so he lets you know that he can. If we get a Justin Fields, Jim Harbaugh is one of those guys that could definitely work with him. So that would just be something to watch. But give
Definitely.
me game sports talk. What's up, man?
Giving
Um,
game.
let's see. Yep, that's everybody. Sterling Woods, Oblivion Empire. That's the last two, man. What's good? But
And
like I
just
said earlier, man,
yeah,
we're
go ahead.
gonna welcome in my SRT family, man. iHeartRadio.
Pulling up on us.
My boy Ho. What's up, man?
Yo, 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 what's going on, man? Listen, first of all, I feel honored. I can't do nothing but feel honored to jump on y'all show on a Tuesday, man, and y'all talking that talk. And I really appreciate the whole family, the way that y'all come on to the SRT show on Wednesday, man, and y'all just fit right in. But the reason it took so long, Smitty, I had to go in the bathroom and try to kind of get some information together before I jump on y'all show. Because I know
Ah,
y'all folks don't play. So I got something for you. I say, let me go ahead and pray and let God give me some to contribute to the show. And by golly, he did it.
oh, there you go.
Hey, that's what
Won't
I'm
he do
talking
it
about.
though?
Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
do it,
sir.
yes.
He will.
And
Yeah,
real
look, I
quick
got.
too,
Hey,
man.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying real quick, just to finish up on Jim Harbaugh. We got to understand this was his second time around. I know first time national champion, but second time around in the college field having success as he had success at San Diego and he had success at Stanford too. So
Right.
like that guy just goes places and then just builds teams and just wins. And that's why another reason why I wanted him as well. But alluding just to your point, man, just made me a
Yeah,
no go.
I just think he declined the interview. Because if
Good.
we have all these
Mm.
guys on board, why is his name not up
A
there?
lot.
I mean, he would at least accept the interview. So maybe he's not accepting the interview. I don't know. But it just doesn't seem right. It seems, like it's just not there. But
Do you think
Ho,
the
man,
reports maybe?
we
The
gonna we gonna
reports
we gonna
maybe.
let Ho start with the question tonight. Well, you got a
Go ahead.
question for us? Go ahead and throw it out there.
Well, well, as I was collecting the information, I'm gonna start off by saying this. Um, and I'm sure you thought about this, Smitty, and I'm sure it's just something to think about. And I've said this before. Why is Arthur Blank always hiring the the rivals or the adversary of opponents? Now, you now the guy who beat you in the Super Bowl, you want to go and get him. This is the same guy who beat you in the Super Bowl
Mhm.
and made your organization be the laughing stock of the NFL.
Right.
Now tell me, why
Right.
would you do that? And,
Yeah.
and so Rich McKay comes from Tampa, Terry Fontenot comes from New Orleans, and now you tell me you're about to jump in and put Belichick on your staff. I mean, this got to be worse than KD joining the Golden State Warriors.
It was funny, man. I made a joke about that. I made a
You
joke
know,
Oh
about
man.
that too. I made a joke about that. But it kind of
so go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead,
Go ahead.
finish. I want you to finish, get all
All
your
right, so
Go
points.
ahead and
this is my
finish.
this is my question. This is my question for you guys. The way that I see him going after Belichick is I see it like this: is that he's in a win-win situation. If Belichick comes in and we change the culture or we do any kind of with it, make the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, whatever the case may be. Not sure what the expectation would be other than the Super Bowl since he got 6.
Right.
If he doesn't, if it's an epic fail, Arthur Blank has a chance to say, well, I tried everything I tried. I tried everything. I went and got the best coach and the greatest coach of this era to run my franchise.
Right.
And if it fails, that means that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay don't get no bullets thrown at them. It's all on Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a chess
Scapegoat.
move, not a checker move.
Yeah. Scapegoat.
Yeah. So I just want to get y'all thoughts on that. That's my question.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one. Go ahead.
To be
Smitty.
honest, Joe, I don't have a problem with Bill Belichick coming here. I actually like it. And it's part of the reason why you say it. I mean, you just don't never know until you see what he can do with this team. It's a win-out team. And if you go out and get a newer head coach, that means you have to start over with another philosophy. Players have to learn another system. And I think Belichick, being a veteran that he is, will bring in the right coaches to get this team flipped a little bit faster as far as the acclimating to what they want to do with their scheming and their system. Now, they have kept the assistant coaches, Ryan Nielsen and Jerry Gray. They block all interviews. So that tells me that they have a plan in place to bring in a head coach and a coordinator. Let those guys keep their job and let them continue to be the glue to this team. Because I said on your show last week, I think the defensive coordinator is the one that's kept this team running all season because the offense absolutely did not do nothing. And that's why I love the Belichick move, because it's a win-now team. There's no point in going to hire a new coach and have to take 2 steps backwards to get 3 steps forward. So I get it. But, you know, Belichick is really the only move that they have if they want to win now. Other than Jim Harbaugh, but which I said, I don't think he wants to get the job at Atlanta.
Possible. Yep. Smitty, great points. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can explain this the best way I possibly can. All right. So Bill Belichick, I'm gonna do the best I can, y'all. So Bill Belichick, we're talking about 8 Super Bowl rings, 2 under Bill Parcells. We're talking about 9 conference championships, 17 divisional titles. Implemented his Patriot way, you know what I'm saying, what you kind of got from Bill Parcells, which is being team-oriented, disciplined, doing your job. He definitely did not pay players, and I know that's another thing that worries Falcon fans, that he did not pay players. He will ship guys off if it means having to pay them sometimes. But let's just be honest. In New England, he exceeded expectations. Right. He exceeded expectations, and he took a guy who was irrelevant, and together, they put the Patriots on the map that will last in eternity, y'all. If he comes to ATL, we're talking about a guy, just off of his experience, a guy who's probably forgotten more football than most of us at 49 years in experience. It's 4 or 5 guys on here who combined don't even have the experience that Bill Belichick has. So I'm just saying, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, Bill Belichick with Tom Brady, 249 wins. Unfortunately, without him, though, only 84 wins. And that's one thing that's scary for the Atlanta Falcons faithful, y'all. I don't think it's just him being 71. Because I don't think that's too old. I think you coach until you can't do it anymore. But
man, you can coach all the way until you're in a wheelchair, man. Let's be real.
But family, we also are wondering, can Stella get that groove back? Can they really replicate any of the success that he had in New England and Atlanta? It's a lot of guys, it's a lot of fans who are skeptical of that, because he did go get the groceries. After Tom Brady, I mean, he did go get them. He had control, and he just didn't succeed, y'all. But he had Mac Jones in that 2021 draft that's looking like, a big thumbs down of a draft, because there's only a few guys out of that one that's even producing. But that's neither here or there. Mac Jones, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with 22 sacks. And that was before he got benched. So, and my thing is, you bring Belichick down, like you said, Smitty, it's win now. But I understand what you're saying too, Bo. I mean, come on now. You're going to bring down the guy that hung the worst loss on you in NFL history, and you're going to go bring him down. It's almost like, well, I can't beat him and I can't beat them, so I'm going to go pull from them and have them join me instead of going to go find my own.
Let me take you down memory lane right quick. One of those names that you call with Bill Belichick. I'm sorry, Bill Parcells.
Right.
Arthur Blank went out to him back in the day as well.
He did.
But
He did.
let's look at Bill Parcells going all the way back to the same team, the New England Patriots, back in the early 90s. What does he do when he first get there? He drafts a quarterback. He goes after Drew Bledsoe. He turns that team around. They build weapons around that quarterback. And they're one of the best teams in the league for probably 2 to 3 years, or maybe 4, because they brought in guys like Willie McGinnis on defense, Ben Coates at tight end, Terry Glenn at wide receiver. They just built that team from the ground up. And I think Bill Belichick follows that same pedigree and can do the same with Atlanta. But the only difference with Atlanta, all they need is a quarterback. And I forgot to mention Curtis Martin as well. But
you're right. Right.
I could see them getting a quarterback, a veteran quarterback, and also drafting a quarterback for that quarterback to come in and succeed the quarterback that they bring in, if that makes sense. So I think it's only a couple of moves they have to make if they hire Bill Belichick to make this team solid and make this team a winning team. Because we saw it last year. Bud Dupree playing for a contract. Calais Campbell probably plays one more year in the league. And we had a top 5 defense. So just think about that. And then you talk about the defensive mind that Bill Belichick has. He will bring in what he needs, and that means probably getting rid of some of the talent that we already have. And see, this would be the deal breaker for me, because I'm looking at guys like AJ Terrell, Grady Jarrett. I'm talking about the foundation of the team. Bill Belichick don't care about a name. He only cares about contracts and bottom line. Same thing with Rich McKay. Let him come in and sort of move pieces around and bring in what he's used to. That's yet to be seen. So as I look at that in that aspect, that's why I think Bill Belichick would be a nice fit for Atlanta, because what I think he could bring short term, going into the long term, and turn it over to another coach if he succeeds. So I mean, it's plenty of ways you can look at it.
And I have to add,
you got a part 2 to that question now. Then
you got a part 2. Okay.
Hey, before you go, y'all go and check out Sports Roundtable on YouTube, man. Blink and Stitch put it in the chat, so y'all please go click that link and hit that like button, hit that notification bell, so every time they go live, y'all will see it. And I know it's every Wednesday, 7 to 9 o'clock. So trust me, y'all gonna enjoy that show. But go ahead, H.O.
Hey, I'm gonna make sure I might have to cut that video up and run it on the show, because you do that so well. But my question, after listening to you guys talk about, and I'm not saying you bumping for him, but you don't mind having him. But my question is, the Bill Parcells era and the Bill Belichick era, do you think Bill Belichick has adjusted to this football instead of the Bill Parcells and the Bill Belichick era of then? Because I've seen Nick Saban and how he had to make an adjustment to when college football changed. I've seen Coach K from Duke had to adjust to getting 5 stars, in that aspect. So my question is, do you think Bill Belichick has adjusted to the way football is played today? Because we know what he did back then when Bill Parcells and him creating his 6 Super Bowls. We understood that's football as we know it. But today, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different aspect. Do we think he has adjusted? And my thing is, I'd rather for somebody to call Arthur Blank Mr. Blank. Bill Belichick can just call him Arthur. I mean, it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about.
Well,
respect goes a long way.
Hey, that's a great question. Excellent question. I don't believe he has, though. I believe I don't believe he has adapted to the new school offenses, the new school game. I believe he's still trying to do it his way, because that's just what he's been doing. It's like, so when you get older and you get stuck in your ways, I believe that's what he's doing right now. That's why I'm nervous because I personally, I don't want Josh McDaniel as my OC, but most likely bringing in Bill, that's what's going to happen. And it's just a different time. It's a different time. And that's what makes me want to lean toward one of these new guys. If I had to take any guy off of this list, if I had to just choose one, it would be tough, but I would be in between like a Brian Callahan and a Bobby Slowick, especially Bobby Slowick.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to play some ball at Michigan Tech as a wide receiver. You know, he was a part of that Redskin staff that or Commanders now. That and all those guys have head coaching jobs except for Slowick. Before the Texans, he spent 5 years under Shanahan, and he kept going up. Like he made his way all the way up until the offensive coordinator, making plays and calling plays. My God, look at this man. But anyway, right now, Slowick is in the playoffs with the talent of CJ Stroud and dropped all those points on one of the best defenses from this season, y'all. CJ Stroud over 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and you got to remember that he missed some time. So you can't sleep on Slowick. You can't sleep on him, man.
There you go.
Brian Callahan.
Talk your talk.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, Brian Callahan, he's a sleeper because we already know that it's guys that like Zach Taylor who came up underneath him, like me and Smitty was chatting about earlier. And his dad, Bill, took the Raiders to the Super Bowl. He's come from a football family. This is not just some Joe Blow coming off the street. So, you know, it's guys that's out there. But I understand about what you're saying, Smitty, about trying to bring in Bill Belichick because he's win now and everything too. But honestly, let's just be real, y'all. It's a risk no matter what coach you bring in. It's hit or miss regardless. We could bring in Raheem Morris tomorrow and lose. Then what we gonna do?
I'm gonna speak on that in a second. But I'm gonna tell you like this, Ho. Anybody can adjust to any time, any play in the game if they stick to the fundamentals of football, and I think he's done that. And if you look at New England's roster, they were pretty depleted the last 3 years after Brady left. So you bring him in with a more talented roster full of vets and young weapons. I think he can adjust as long as he brings in the right offensive coordinator. And Blink and Stitch, she threw a question up on Twitter for me earlier about Justin Fields and Belichick, would they fit? I think it would fit if you bring in the right coordinator that know how to unlock his skill set to make him the dynamic quarterback that we all know he can be in the right system. So that means, I think, and I hate to say it, that means no Josh McDaniel. You have to bring in one of these young guys. Cliff Kingsbury is the first thing that comes to my mind, and I've said that 1,000 times. But Cliff Kingsbury in an offense like this with a young quarterback like a Justin Fields, I think it's a home run, man. But it's all in who they're bringing in to put this team together. But Justin Fields is a name that everybody should watch because Chicago is saying that it's going to go all the way up to April. But I guarantee you, as soon as the new league year hit in March, a deal is going to be in place for Justin Fields to be somewhere else. But
shout out to Big Low.
Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. He said, I know Stella can get her groove back because everybody auntie in my DMs. That's how he kick it. Lil 2, appreciate you, my brother. Rapping Atlanta Falcons way out here in Oklahoma.
Hey,
Shout out to you, man. Big salute to great content. You all pop out. Thank you. We appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate you. But I could see this working out in so many ways. But if I had to go another person on this list, I got to agree with A1, man. I'm looking at Brian Callahan because we need an offensive guy to go with these defensive guys. You bring a guy in that could, well, I know he can call plays better than Arthur. Arthur couldn't even play tic-tac-toe. Let's keep it real. But that's my thought, man. I just think it could work. It's just putting the right pieces in place. And I think Bill Belichick can still do that in the right situation.
Hey, Smith, I was typing you a question up before y'all went on. I was typing me a question up. I didn't know if I was going to text it to you or shoot it to you. Wait till you came on and shoot it in the chat. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask it now since we here, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Would you guys, and A1, please chime in on this? Would you guys risk hiring and hiring Antonio Pierce, knowing that Cliff Kingsbury comes with him, and also possibly a Max Crosby who will request a trade if he's not retained? Would you get a 3-1? Would you risk doing a 3-1 to satisfy some of the ills and some of the things that we're lacking?
Well, Smitty, I'm gonna let you go first on that one, man. I mean,
that's a good question.
I'm gonna chime in for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. And the only reason why I'm gonna say yes, I know Antonio Pierce is a great leader of men, and and the team is showing you that right now, and that's exactly what the Falcons need. And the main reason why I would say that to that point is because I'm looking at the offensive coordinator you named. I've been looking at that dude since he left Arizona.
He has.
And to bring him in with the type system that he runs,
yes,
put it into what he does with Pitts, London, and whoever else is the quarterback. Oh yeah, I'm going for that all day, because we talking about a spread type offense. And Justin Fields, you talk about Kyler Murray and what he had in Arizona with Cliff Kingsbury. You imagine Justin Fields in that same type system with the same type skill set, with a better build, because we know he's a solid dude, man. He's not one of those small quarterbacks. He's about 6'3", about 225, 230. So he's a big dude. So
I would say yes. Go ahead. So you're talking about a coaching staff who's well adjusted to how the NFL is played today.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And you can possibly get the edge rusher that we're so long in trying to get in Max Crosby.
Now that would be the only holdup, because we already have a lot of players under contract right now, and we're going to get more money on the books this year. But I still think you have to think about moving on from Grady Jarrett or moving on from AJ Terrell, because you're going to need that money elsewhere. Yeah. And I've thought about this too, about AJ Terrell. Yes, I'm not saying we should trade him, but if the right trade comes along and it betters our team, you got to think about it, because you get to reset at that position. Clark Phillips has showed you glimpses that he could be a number one in the right system. And I would think about it. And if Max Crosby comes open from the Raiders for Antonio Pierce, yeah, you got to think about moving on from one of those other guys, because you're going to want to go out and get that pass rusher.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Man, fellas. Well, I like the Antonio Pierce thing with the Cliff. I don't have a gripe with Kingsbury as a coordinator. So, like, I'm with you on that. And I'm with you on Antonio Pierce, because he's definitely a leader of men. 5-4 record as a head coach. Those guys rallied around him, because it didn't start off like it was going to be even a 5-4 record. You know, those guys were still taking hits, and then next thing you know, that defense, that team, they rallied around Antonio Pierce, and they played hard for him for the rest of the season. So I understand why guys like Max Crosby would say, hey, look, man, if you don't hire this guy after the job that he's done and remotivated us, re-energized us, I want out. And the only thing about it, is the trade. You're going to have to give something up for an elite pass rusher like Max Crosby. It's other guys that I probably would put over him, but regardless, he does fit a need. And I agree with Smitty. You're going to have to think about dropping Grady, who I believe, if we release him, I believe it's 11 or 12 million we save or something like that. So
12 million.
Yeah, so 12 million right there that you save, or you may have to go get rid of AJ Terrell. Only reason why I'm holding up and pumping the brakes on that is because I do not feel safe at cornerback with only Clark Phillips III. And I don't feel safe at cornerback if you bring Clark Phillips in and bring back Jeff Okudah without AJ. I don't feel safe there. So like so that will be holding me up on that AJ trade. But Grady Jarrett, I mean, I love Grady Jarrett, but at the end of the day, I love the brand more. So if you can get a pass
But
rusher,
you can
and
get
come
a
on
top
in there.
grade corner in the second round. So I don't
It's
think it would
possible.
be that hard of a move. When you think about having to pay him $20+ million, and you bring in Max Crosby, who I think he's around the $20 million mark too.
Well,
So
well,
possibly,
AJ,
to
I'll
be
make him
honest,
prove it.
but
I
to
would
be
make him prove
honest,
it this year.
you could actually trade Grady or AJ to Las Vegas for Max Crosby and probably a pick, and
Yeah,
they would
I
probably
see
go
that.
for it, especially if he wants to trade. But he probably has a lot of dead cap money, and he may get blackballed if he tries to do that. But
You never know. I
things
mean, it's
happen.
definitely happened before. It's definitely happened before. But I mean, I like the move. I would like the move. I know we have an interview, some with Antonio Pierce coming up. I believe. I think we have one with Slowick coming up this week as well too. So these are definitely like guys like those two guys. Brian Callahan. We've already interviewed him. I'm interested to see if any one of these guys, because it's only one guy that got an in person, possibly on a yacht, interview, and that's Bill Belichick. He's the only guy that met in person. Everybody else is getting virtual. I understand it's a lot of playoff, got a lot of guys in the playoffs that's on this list and everything too, but mostly everybody has been virtual. But
Well,
Belichick has
fellas,
got
y'all got. I'm sorry, but y'all got to make sure y'all say this correctly. Belichick didn't interview for the job. He interviewed the Falcons.
Yeah,
hey, what
yeah,
I say, Smitty, I was like, a guy
yeah,
like that just doesn't pull up on you just because
Yeah,
all
let's
that
let's let's
experience
go ahead and
and that
make sure we
pedigree.
correct that.
Yeah, a guy like that doesn't just pull up on your franchise. If it's some smoke there, it's
yeah.
some real deal
He just
smoke
trying
there,
to see
man.
what he can get away with. That's all. At the end
Hey,
of the
but
day, he's just trying to see what he can get away with. Let's
it's a
keep it real.
possibility he trying to get Rich McKay out of being in day-to-day operations. I know a lot of people want that.
Hey, he'll be
So
doing us all a favor. Let's be
he
honest. He'll
really
be doing
would
us all
there.
a
I ain't
favor.
gonna lie to you, Jack. He
That's the
would there.
only attraction that I have in the Bill
That's like the
Belichick.
treat right there. That's like the kickers. Like, all right,
Yeah,
that's kind of like the selling point. Hey, I'll get Rich McKay out y'all face. God damn it, Bill.
yeah,
Uh,
that'll be. But then what happens to Terry then?
mm, I think he'll stay on in a scouting role, something like that. I think he's too important to
Holmes got
keeping
on
the
the side.
salary cap right for them to just push him out the door. But I think he'll stay on in some capacity as far as player personnel going forward if that happens. But Ho, out of these coaches that you see on the screen, which one would you be looking at the most?
That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, and I love the Slowick. I love the Ben Johnson, but I'm with y'all. I heard y'all talk about Jim Harbaugh, and I'm saddened that he's not on this list. But Harbaugh would have been my first pick.
He was mine.
I would have flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan, gave him a blank check, and told him
Put a
to
number
fill
on
it
it.
out and let me know when you're ready.
Just put a number on that
I
thing.
mean, because this
Wow.
is the thing, Smith, and I'm sure y'all said this, and you said it last week on the show about building the culture. This
Yeah,
man has built a culture and has created, and he's a quarterback whisperer. Think about the quarterback
right.
that he has mentored and coached. I mean, before Colin Kaepernick became Colin Kaepernick, he had Alex Smith. Alex Smith didn't do bad for the. I think that year he led the league in pass percentage. I
Absolutely.
mean, he had Andrew Luck in Stanford.
Mhm.
And he in 3 straight NFC championship games while he was in San Francisco. And one thing we do know now, he has adjusted to the way football is being played.
Yep.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Because at Michigan, They was about to cut his head off a couple of years ago because he couldn't beat Ohio State. But boy, he went out and he grabbed the McDonald kid from Baltimore, and that defense start to look a whole lot different. And that defense kept that momentum. And this year, it looked like that defense got better and better and better, because one thing you know about Harbaugh, he's going, your line, your offensive line and your defensive line go be strong, and they go be physical. And they go run the ball, and they go be tough. And your culture will be built.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
I say Harbaugh first. But boy, the way Bobby Slowick and the way CJ, think about this. CJ Stroud dropped back 29 times in the game this past week. He got touched one time. And Myles Garrett was on the milk carton. So Mr. Tunsil obviously got to get the ball of the week, because he put Myles Garrett on the milk carton.
Right.
Yeah. He got touched one time, and it was not Myles Garrett.
Yeah. And
so
I mean, Harbaugh.
Yeah. I say Harbaugh, then Slowick, and then Ben Johnson. Those are my top three.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. That's still a good top three, though. Still a good top three.
Yeah, we got a question, man. Tyree Johnson said, do we consider drafting a defensive back in the second round? Yeah, we should consider it. Especially if we're talking about what's the future with AJ Terrell. Now, like I said, I'm not saying trade him or cut him or do whatever, but you got to think about the long-term ramifications. We were in cap hell just 2 years ago, and we're not trying to head back that way. And like I said, if Belichick comes in, I think AJ is gone anyway, because we know he don't like to pay players, and this is where him and Arthur Smith may butt heads, but who knows?
Man, I'm hoping if Belichick comes in, he can sway Cal Duggar to come on sign a contract with the Atlanta Falcons as well, because we need some safety help, and this Richie Grant just is not it. I mean, just to be safe here and not start fussing and cussing. So I wouldn't mind that move as well, because I do like Kyle Duggar. I think he's underrated and doesn't get enough playing time out there, and maybe he can come get something here. What we got here from Kang, Atlanta supporter. If the Atlanta Falcons draft a quarterback, who we letting go? Now, I know most people are going to say Desmond Ridder, but I already know that. Oh, you know that's coming. You already know that is coming.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. But, I see 2 to 3 new quarterbacks here next year. I'm just keeping it real, because I'm gonna say that $10 million from Heineken. I'm gonna just
I'm definitely saying
right off top.
You better stop. I'm talking about give me that money back. Seriously though. But like, who will we be letting go? Well, it all depends on the coach. Like, it's like we want to have speculations, but it all depends on the coach. Jim Harbaugh, I think the Chargers are going to make a strong run at him for that. That may be another reason why he may not be on this list. We don't know what the Chargers are promising him. We don't know what Michigan is trying to negotiate. And
Michigan already offered him $125 million.
So there you have it. So, you know, and right now the Chargers are trying to get them a head coach, because they are even more ready now than the Atlanta Falcons because of that field general position, Justin Herbert. And if we're getting a quarterback in the draft, then that means, of course, no Justin Fields, which I don't want to give up. They keep trying to say that the Falcons, it's getting crazy out here with some of these reports real quick. And just to touch on a few things, they're getting crazy out here. They're saying that the Falcons may trade with the number 8 pick to the Bears for Justin Fields. Absolutely not. Are you out of your mind? No, I'm not doing that. And I mean, if you fellas feel differently, I respect that. But I'm sitting here and I'm a pound the table right now. Ain't no way in the world I'm giving y'all my 8th overall pick for Justin Fields. That's just me personally. I'm sorry.
No.
It's just not
way
happening.
too rich.
Not in this galaxy.
Way too rich.
Yeah, not in this galaxy.
Rich.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
No.
But I'll tell you who I would go get with that 8th overall pick, or possibly move up in the board, like my boy Smitty said. Make sure y'all go check out that video if y'all ain't did that. But like my boy Smitty said, move up in the draft to go get the quarterback of the future. We've done that with Steve Bartkowski. We've done that with Michael Vick. So now it's time for another time to go get it. And I like Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels' strong arm. He's not turnover prone. That right there, I love more than anything else, that he is not turnover prone, dual threat, can make the throws. Also, check out that video that Smitty dropped about him as well. But I like Jalen Daniels just more than just being just a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think he's going to turn into a Ty Detmer. I don't think he's going to turn into a Chris Winkie. You know what I said? I don't think he's going to be one of those Heisman Trophy guys that come into the league and stink it up. I don't see that. I see a generational type of a quarterback, a generational type of a talent, as long as he get put into the right system with the right weapons that the Atlanta Falcons have. We just got to see who the head coach is going to be.
Now, if you do get a Jaden Daniels or any quarterback up in the 8th pick, and you got to understand this is Atlanta, so how much of some unrealistic expectations will they have for the quarterback, being that the quarterback situation has been bad for the last 3 years?
Unrealistic expectations? Oof, that's a great question.
I think they're going to give him time. Yeah, I think they're going to give him time just because he's a new guy coming in, rookie coming off the street, possibly see what he can do. But if he impresses enough, I'm trying to see if he's going to be impressive enough in the film room, impressive enough when you're doing drills, the combine, all that stuff like that. We have a long way to go. And right now I'm on Jaden Daniels, and I believe I'm going to stay there. But it's guys who may come up and be better than Jalen Daniels. It's so much that can happen in this offseason, y'all. And with these quarterbacks, man, I know Michael Penix is another guy that if we may drop to 8, but it's just Jalen Daniels. If we got to go get a rookie quarterback, it's Jaden Daniels and nobody else for me. I know Smitty, I know you like Drake May. You better hope he don't turn into Mitchell Trubisky. That's what you better.
No. Nah, he got the same type skill set as Justin Herbert over in Los Angeles. So that's why I see him strong arm, make any throw, reads the defense pretty well. So if they can get, a pocket passer like that, I would love it. But if not, Jaden Daniels would be my second pick. And to be honest, and y'all can go check it out, my draft profile, man, actually Jaden Daniels reminds me of a younger Justin Fields. So those two guys, man, they're going to be neck and neck for me. But Drake May is going to be my he's going to be my guy, man, and especially if Belichick is hired. He likes pocket passing quarterbacks, and we know that. Yeah. So that would all but signify that Drake May would probably be the pick. But could he catch up with what Justin Fields is doing with his skill set? I think he could. But like I said, that all depends on the offensive coordinator that you bring in, quarterback coach that you bring in that's willing to work with Justin Fields to adjust to Bill Belichick's type of play, or with any other of these coaches up on the screen. That is the key. Right. The offensive coordinator and the quarterback is the key to unlocking this team, because we're still going to have a lot of talent even after we lose a lot of these free agents. We're still going to have a lot of talent.
So, Smitty, my question is now, do you trust Belichick to pick a quarterback? Because the last 3 quarterbacks that he's picked, Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and Zappy. Think about that.
Ooh, I'm gonna keep it real, Ho. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I think that's left up to Arthur Blank at the end of the day, because we all know Arthur Blank has the last say so. I think at the end of the day, that's left up to Arthur Blank.
And the crazy thing about all that too is you still not letting your GM do his job. Like, what is he doing? Like, what do you have him doing? He's going to have input. We just keep on hearing this input. But we see other franchises like the Detroit Lions, see other franchises like the Seattle Seahawks, and they're coming out and just saying straight up what's going on. Their GM is handling this, their GM is handling that. We don't have that here. We have a different structure going on. We have a guy named Rich McKay who said he wasn't in day-to-day operations before Arthur Smith, and then after Arthur Smith, we find out he is in day-to-day operations. He's just a cancer, and he's just decay. And Arthur Blank, he's going to roll with him because that's his right-hand man. That's his road dog. You know, saying that it's not. It shouldn't be Rich McKay shouldn't be in day-to-day operations. And I understand that's another reason why Bill Belichick, you know, if he comes in, he will take away that. But y'all, I'm just saying, y'all. I don't want to oh man, I just lost my train of thought. I could offer to go into sub belt. But yeah, man, it's just that's basically
probably saw Trey Lance down at the bottom and just lost it.
I did read that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did read about the Trey Lance, and I'm just saying he was in that 2021 draft too. And I know what he's down there in Dallas, right? I wouldn't take my risk on him. I'm not no way in the world am I getting Trey Lance to do anything for the Atlanta Falcons. So it's like let me go ahead and end that right there. But I mean, shoot, I know Smitty, the question kind of was for you too. What are your take on Trey Lance?
I guess
that's it. I think that's it as all.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say no on Trey Lance. Now, if Arthur Smith had stayed head coach, I would have thought about it because he fits a zone blocking scheme because that's what he ran at North Dakota State. So he would fit Arthur Smith's system. But whoever they bring in, I don't think, he would be that guy. And to be honest, I don't know what Kyle Shanahan was thinking, or was it John Lynch? I don't know. But Trey Lance did not fit what the 49ers do. We all know Kyle Shanahan like pocket passing quarterbacks. You talk about a scrambling guy. So I just think it was wasted draft picks. But hopefully they learn from it and move on from it. But he said, strapped up 24 says, if Bill comes to Atlanta, I think they will add a quarterback. They will add a quarterback like Drake May. Definitely agree, because that's his type of guy.
Yeah. Antonio Pierce.
Speaking of Kyle Shanahan, Smitty, I was fortunate enough to have some resources back when Shanahan was here, and I wanted to get your thoughts, and A1 get yours too. Not sure if y'all knew this, but when Shanahan was here, the Super Bowl year, the 2016 year, there were some rumblings per my source. I don't start rumors. I just talk about it once they come out. That Shanahan told Dan Quinn that the offense is tired of bailing the defense out. And right after the Kansas City game, that's when Dan Quinn started calling defensive plays. And when that happened, they went all the way through. They went all the way through the rest of the season with some type of friction, though. Some inside friction nobody knew about, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And from my source, Shanahan was trying to, in the Super Bowl, be Superman and show Dan Quinn that my offense is better than your defense. And there you go. That's what happened. So at the end of the season, after Shanahan said that, it was rumored that he would take the head coaching job, you already know Mike McDaniel, Matt LaFleur's younger brother was all on the staff for the Falcons and all under contract for the next year. Mm-hmm. Dan Quinn said, I don't want any Shanahan's residue in the building, so we can let him out of their contract. And that's how they left.
Well,
so ego basically sabotaged this team back then.
Wow.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Hey, Blinken Stitch. Hey, she real with that. Devontae said he had some tea.
I've been trying to get Devontae Freeman on the show forever,
man,
but
we want to hear it.
I'm gonna keep trying till I make that happen. But
we want to hear the tea.
It's not a surprise,
so
HO.
I've all but confirmed everything with my source. So, I mean, that's what I got. Now I don't know.
I mean, it's not a surprise because
story, but that's what I got. That's how all of the guys
Dan Quinn
got out of the building.
Yeah, Dan Quinn didn't believe in Mike LaFleur anyway. That's another reason why he slid out. Hey, how you doing? But go ahead, Smitty. I know you had a few points. I know you was already starting.
Yeah, it's not a surprise to me, Miss Angela. We doing good, and thank you for always tuning in. We appreciate you. It's not a surprise, man, because as I said from the jump, I think the offense carried that team the whole season. And it wasn't no surprise as he just said about friction between those two guys. That's what ego does when one guy's out coaching the other guy. Now, if the offensive coordinator is out coaching the head coach, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach ego gonna get in the way. And to be honest, that's probably why Kyle Shanahan left Atlanta to go take that head coaching job. Because if those guys were on the same page, and even if they offered him the job, he probably wouldn't have taken it if you make him the highest paid coordinator in the league. You give him more money to stay, to work and keep working his magic with this team that he's put together. And to be honest, I think, and I told you, H.O., I think Kyle Shanahan should have stayed another year or two, and maybe Dan Quinn doesn't stay as long. So it could have worked either way.
Well, the rumor has it that Dan Quinn was afraid that Kyle Shanahan was going to replace him as the head coach, and that's why he never fought for him to stay. He never fought for him to even stay.
H.O., I believe that 100% because he was already on the way, like Smitty just said. That offense is still one of the top 10 offenses in NFL history. What we did that year offensively was just unprecedented, man. You will always remember what we did that year before, of course, going to the big dance, regardless. And that team right there, man, I can believe it. I've heard rumors and everything about how Quinn didn't believe in Mike LaFleur. And it's so funny because look how Mike LaFleur and his offense just did Dan Quinn's defense. Life come at you fast. But but it's just funny, man, how all these guys going on to have success. And Dan Quinn, you know what I'm saying, on one of the biggest stages, man, you get exposed like that. But real Falcon fans, we knew that was about to happen to his defense, especially after how they came out firing immediately. It was like, oh, we've seen this before, somewhere familiar. Mm-hmm. So it's like it doesn't surprise me. And Dan Quinn looks like one of those type of guys like that.
You know, the very next season after the Super Bowl, Falcon outfit did not look the same.
They did not.
It was just a shell of themselves.
Not the same. We was not the same, and honestly, man, we were lucky to be in the situation that we were in. Only a possible Julio Jones catch in the end zone, and we do move on. But that offense was just not the same, and it hasn't been the same since Shanahan has been here. So that's really kind of it's almost like that's what we're chasing. We're chasing ghosts. We're chasing ghosts of our past as far as what our offense used to look like. Yep, I did see that as well about Dan Quinn possibly to Seattle. And I mean, that would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all.
Yeah, but that's a fit, man, because Dan Quinn is loved in Seattle. Dan Quinn is a god in Seattle because of what he did with the Legion of Boom. But he tried to bring that same philosophy to Atlanta. Did not work because it's not the same type players. So y'all go ahead and press that like button like Blinken Steve said. Smash that like button.
Smash it.
We would truly appreciate it. Y'all please go check out SRT on YouTube and my boy A1 Forever. Please press like on their channels as well. But Eric Parker said, y'all talked about Josh McDaniels coming with Bill Belichick if he's hired. I said that last week. It just makes sense because he's gonna get what he's comfortable with. So somebody that he's comfortable. You see him go back to New England. Every time he lost his job out in the open, he He went right back
He
to
go
New
right
England.
back to New England.
So
He always could go home.
it's just
he
like Nick
always could
Saban
go
at
home.
Alabama. Every time one of his coaches did not succeed, they ended up right back at Alabama. So him and Nick Saban had that same type philosophy. And the reason why is because they're familiar with them coaches. They know what they're capable of doing. And at the end of the day, it's what's best for them. So I would not be mad about that.
Josh McDaniels, man, I just don't like him. Nah, it ain't nothing personal. I just don't like his offense. I mean, I know, and then he does. We don't have Brady. Getting Belichick's not going to bring any guy like that back or anything. So it's just, it's a hit or miss again with any. You can find pros and cons with all of these guys. It's just Bill Belichick has the most experience. He can bring them down, bring his staff and whatnot, keep our defensive staff, intact, and possibly go do some things. Or you can possibly go get one of these new guys, one of these young guys, and possibly go get you one of these new up and coming quarterbacks. Build you a guy from within instead of having to go get a veteran quarterback or anything like that, man. It's possibilities that you can do, but first things first, we got to see who the coach is. Just the front runner right now is the man with the hoodie, because I mean he's meeting on yachts and he's in all the reports, and it just, you don't have to be an investigator to kind of just see some of the signs of where it's going. It's just everyone is nervous or anxious because it looks like it's heading toward Bill Belichick. But we'll see.
Yeah.
AA1. Who stock raised the most this past weekend? Was it Bobby Slowick or Ben Johnson?
For me, I would say
that's a great
Slowick.
question.
For me, I would say Slowick because you have a rookie quarterback. Regardless, I mean, Jared Goff has already played in the Super Bowl at least once. So, I mean, coming in and having a veteran quarterback to lead their offensive weapons. Now, they have similar weapons as far as, like, especially that run game. Because, man, David Montgomery and Gibbs, Lord have mercy. But so they have, similar weapons at running back and everything. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's a dog. So you have other weapons as well. But I like Bobby Slowick, man. I like Bobby Slowick a lot. And, again, what he's doing with this rookie head coach and what he's doing with this rookie quarterback, I believe the stock definitely rose. And they look at all those points that they dropped again, like I said earlier, on one of the best defenses on this in the NFL.
Best defense, right? They ranked number one in everything.
You feel me?
They ran through them like they ran through them like a hard light on Metropolitan, if y'all know what I'm talking about. But as I look at Mako King, he said it won't be a surprise to me. The Bears drafted Marvin Harrison first, and I said that already. Will leave the door open for us for Jaden Daniel to fall to us. I'm gonna keep it real, Marco. It would not be a surprise if Marvin Harrison is number one, especially if they're going to keep Justin Fields. But Jaden Daniels will not fall to number 8. After Marvin Harrison falls off the board, it's gonna be straight quarterback after that till up to about the 6th pick. So if the Falcons want to get one of the quarterbacks, they're gonna trade all the way up to number 2 or number 3 to get one of those guys, and possibly trade all the way up to 1 and bypass everybody to get that quarterback, because that may be the only way that they get one of those guys. They're gonna have to pay a king's ransom to go get one of those guys. And like I said, I don't have a problem with it because it's time for a change at quarterback. We had Matt Ryan for 14 years. It's time to get another guy for another 14 years. That's just what type of mindset I have right now concerning that.
Because as you see, you can't just pluck a franchise quarterback off a tree. So we've definitely seen that since Matt has been gone. We're still searching for that franchise quarterback. And I don't want to be waiting another 5 to 10 years like some franchises have, still looking for a quarterback. I don't want to be the New York Jets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be still looking for a quarterback, still trying to chase that Joe Namath. I don't want to be that franchise. So, yeah, man, we got to go get our guys. And if that means we have to go up to get them, so be it, man, because it's time to build a winning culture, our own winning culture.
What y'all think about this combo right here? Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams.
I like it.
Man, I mean, it's playmakers there, man. It really is. it's not my first choice either pick, but I can't lie. I mean, you definitely changing some culture and stuff like that here. Slim, what it do?
Slim said the hottest trend now is going to get someone from the staff of the Ravens because they are the best team in the NFL right now. This is why Anthony Weaver might be the top choice for head coach. And that's a great point because we all know it's all about, the hot streaks, who's hot at the moment. But you got to also think about long term and not be prisoner of the moment because that's exactly what happened with Arthur Smith. They were prisoner of the moment because of what he was doing with Derrick Henry in Tennessee and turning Ryan Tannehill around to throw 33 touchdowns. But they got fool's gold at the end of the day because he could not get past that 7-10 mark. So this time around, you got to go out and do your homework as to what kind of tree they came off of, how they've been productive, where they were, and that's how you got to treat this. And this is why I think Brian Callahan is going to be one of those guys because I know his background. His dad taught him well. It's just like Mike and Kyle Shanahan, same exact thing.
Yep.
You talk about Bill Callahan and Brian Callahan, same type thing, man. He's taught him every facet of the game, and I think that's why he makes more sense than anybody on this list. But Ms. Angela, thank you for the donation. We truly appreciate it. Dr. Ganja, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. 2 first, second, and picks for number 1. Y'all doing it.
That's rough, but oh man, 2 firsts, a second, and pits for number 1. Man, I don't know if I do that. I don't know if I do that.
Not even if you don't have to get them a first round of next year. Well, the year after the 3, because there's usually 3 first round picks if you're moving up that board. But they threw in a DJ Moore last year. That's why Chicago got away with that 2 first round picks. But if they come with Kyle Pitts, they may be able to pull off the same thing. So I get where he's going with that.
Yeah, I do, Dr. Ganja. That's wonderful, actually. That's a wonderful. That makes you think right there. That keeps the wheels turning. Oh man. Hey man, for your franchise. I mean, like you said, if it's
time is now.
If you trade up to the number 1 pick and you trade picks, do you get Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers at 8?
No, they would have to trade number 8 and go up to 1.
Yeah, I was about to say number 8 would be gone. So we would have the number 1 pick, and the Bears would have the number 8.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought this was all just.
Oh no! They ain't getting away that Scott.
See now, because if it was like that, I would have jumped on it. But yeah, man. See, that's what
I mean, if you trade up number 1, you got to hit. Ain't no miss. You got to hit.
That's the thing.
So do you take the sure shot? Do you take the sure shot in Caleb Williams, or do you take the Drake May or Jaden Daniels, somebody that you probably gonna have to develop a little bit and tweak a little bit? And like I said, all depends on the offensive coordinator and what they like to run. So I mean, if they get the staff in place, then we'll know exactly where they're gonna go. And that's the best way I can put it.
I heard y'all talk about Joe Brady not on this list. Any insiders know why he's not on this list?
I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, I just know he's on the playoff run right now, and it's a possibility that because he is interim OC right now, it's a possibility they could just go ahead and just retain him and just give him more money to stay, because he is doing a great job since they fired the original OC. So that's why it's if the draft capital, go get your guy.
Hey, and I'm right with you, my brother. It's time to make a change.
I feel that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm with him.
I'm not mad. I'm not saying that it's wrong at all, because I'm a guy that really don't care about that draft capital. I honestly don't like going to get rookies after rookies after rookies. Yeah, if it means getting our guy, because like we said before, we only moved up to go get our quarterback like that to the number 1 spot only 2 times in history. So this was time for a 3rd time. It's time for a 3rd time.
You think about it, San Diego got a Hall of Fame running back out the deal, so they still won.
You feel me? So it's just like everybody was cool. Everybody was cool. But yeah.
Hey, they're gonna be the last question, and we're gonna end it on this. You look at what Bill did with Tom, more than 10 games under 500. Y'all go ahead and answer that, and then I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on it.
Oh, hold on. What was it? So then look at what Bill did with that. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, without him, he didn't win much. He only have 84 wins. 84 wins, man.
You got to think about it, not only Tom Brady, but the rest of the team was depleted even when Tom Brady was there. You think about all the players they lost over the last 3 years that he was there. I mean, of course they're not going to be the same team, but you put him on a team with the same type, with more weapons that he had in New England with his coaching knowledge. That could be pretty dangerous if you think about it. So I won't go into Tom Brady and all that 10 games under 500.
I can't knock that.
I mean, you can't. It's the past. You can't.
As well.
Yeah. So it's the past.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, without Tom Brady, the last couple of years, did they even make the playoffs in New England?
Once I think. No, they didn't. Nope, they didn't. I think they only had one winning season after Brady left.
Even when Brady was ending his career there, I was talking about the last couple of years with New England. Did they even make the playoff then? Because he had started to end, he was starting to move people around and trying to get Brady to stay a little longer, whatever the case may be, but it didn't happen.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if I trust Bill Belichick with picking the groceries at this point. He hadn't really shown me.
That may be the deal breaker because Jamal 404 ATL said you got to keep Pitts in London if you're taking a rookie quarterback. He's going to need passing weapons.
He is going to need weapons,
and they don't get no simple.
That's what I'm thinking about too. As far as like you're giving them Pitts, I mean that means you're taking a weapon away. So it's just like,
Right, quick, man. Before we end it, man, what y'all think about Michael Penix? Give me y'all honest assessment on
that. Pocket passer, somebody who can make good throws. I think he's pretty accurate. I think he's pretty accurate. I know what happened in the national championship game, but I think he's an accurate quarterback. I think he's pretty headstrong. I think he's going to end up being a good quarterback overall. And if you don't go move up to go get like a Jalen Daniels or somebody or a Drake May, Caleb Williams, whomever, if you do stay put, Penix probably does fall right in your lap. He probably will fall right in your lap because after like the top four, let's say the top 4 picks, after that, you're kind of going to teams that already have a quarterback in place. I mean, because the Chargers, they're not drafting a quarterback. And then who else is it in there that I can't think of right now? But it's another team
at number 4. Yeah.
But I'm saying like, and they may keep Kyler Murray, so that's
Tennessee draft right before us.
Okay, so Tennessee most likely, I think they're going to roll with Levis. So that's what I'm saying. Like he may just fall right to you. Talking about Penix.
Yeah. Yep.
What you think?
Dr. Gundy said he think he's a second rounder.
Yeah, I think Penix scares me with the injury history. And the only reason he scares me with the Falcons is because
our O-line.
The Falcons, the O-line, I mean, he's already injury prone, but I mean, you don't have, you really don't have anybody to protect him. I mean, like what are you? He's bound to get hurt again behind that line.
Caleb McGarry, pass rusher coming off the edge against Caleb McGarry, a bull rushing up the middle against Drew Dalman.
You know what I'm saying? That's just too much.
Yeah,
that's just too much. And I thought we was in the driver's seat to possibly get the top center that's out there on the board in the offseason. But now that Jason Kelsey is retiring, I think Philadelphia may get that free agent now.
So, they said they wanted to go on a little bit longer, man. Can y'all hold in there about 15 more minutes?
Hey, man, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
good,
guess
man.
they can't get enough. But
Hey,
Georgia, Texas boys
that's
say,
the conversation.
"What's good, Smitty and Powder? What are your thoughts on bringing Callahan as the offensive coordinator? We did with Nielsen, giving Callahan play calling duties. My choices for head coach are Weaver, McDonald, or Bill Belichick. What y'all? Now
Mm.
we thought about Bill Callahan. I like Bill Callahan
I do
because
too. Like
I'm
Brian.
looking at the Cincinnati Bengals. He kind of orchestrated that offense. Zach Taylor learned up under him and his dad. So
Yep.
I would like that fit because with the weapon that we have with a wide open offense, I think we can put up 30 points a game. And we haven't put up 30 points in one game, number once in the last year and a half. Just think about that.
Yeah,
And then
January of last year.
see what I'm saying? That's quite some time, fellas. And to add to your point too, man, I think about what Cincinnati was doing without Joe Burrow. I mean, yeah, they didn't make the playoffs, but they still was being competitive with a guy who was doing DoorDash a couple years ago. Seriously.
Yeah,
No,
for
like
sure.
seriously.
I mean, he was probably the most picked up quarterback in fantasy league for the last 4 or 5 games.
Bro, because I'm saying like he was executing, and that boils down to scheme, coaching, and just being a leader out there, man. It's just they set him up right, and you see what he's doing.
That's why I always say, man, quarterbacks can be drafted into the right spot or the wrong spot. It's up to whatever the team put around them. If the team put garbage around them, he gonna be garbage. If they put the right people around them, they'll be successful. How often do you see we get a Joe Burrow in the draft? Just think about that. How often do we get that?
Well, will Callahan leave Joe Burrow for what we got here in Atlanta, which is fixed eggs and rice right now?
Fish, eggs, and rice. Well, this fish, eggs, and rice, man, I don't think we a quarterback away from being, it's in a grande meal, man. So it's just we just need the quarterback, and we need, the coaching to be A1, man. That's all we need. Man. We can't this front office, regardless of people putting in inputs, whether they're allowed to do their jobs or not. We cannot, and I say we as the logo, the Falcons, cannot afford to mess this up. We cannot afford to set ourselves back another 5 years. Because I think some people that may be in the chat and some people watching this, after the fact, I don't know if they got another 5 years in them. Because we already got people saying they ain't going to be fans no more if Bill Belichick is hired, which is just absolutely preposterous. I'm for the logo. I mean, I have my favorites, but if he brings them in, I'm going to be like, all right, Bill, strap them up. Here we go. I mean, or whoever, Anthony Weaver, Mike McDonald, whoever they bring in. I'm going to ride with them at the end of the day, no matter who my personal choice may have been. There's a hit off the blank won't survive. And she meant that.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it makes sense though, man, because he's 81 years old, man. How much time do he really have left? And see, this is why Belichick name has popped up more than anybody. It's win now team, win now coach. Perfect match. Only thing is, can they bring in that right quarterback? That is the only question.
So is a veteran quarterback out the question right now for you guys? Because Bill is not going to, if he comes in, he's not going to risk turning this thing over to a rookie quarterback, I don't think.
And I can feel that.
That's a great point,
H.O. Great point, because you see what he's done with the rookie quarterback. He brought in Mac Jones, started him right away. Mac Jones just wasn't the answer. I mean, just even this season, like I said before, he got benched. The man, 10 interceptions, and
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he would have been a match for any team. He just
bro, I'm like,
he was just not that guy.
Yeah, he wasn't. But I said also, if we're talking about a veteran quarterback, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want no 30-plus-year-old quarterback down here. And for all that, I'd rather go draft one of these rookies.
Well, bad news.
Build my own guy.
Bad news, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and y'all gonna say I told you if it happens. If we get Bill Belichick, we all know Josh McDaniel coming along. Guess who else coming along?
Mike Patricia.
Jimmy Garoppolo's coming along.
What?
Yep. Trust me.
Smitty, don't make me come over there and hit you with a stinger splash. What the heck? What the heck?
I'm just being serious. I'm just saying it's the fit. And what did I say earlier is what he's comfortable with. And same thing with Josh McDaniel. Right. When Josh McDaniel's got to Las Vegas, who was the coach? Who was the quarterback that he brought in?
Yeah, you're right. And the thing about that is that think about this. Bill Belichick affected how Philadelphia got blew out the other day.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia was the defensive coordinator calling the calls. He got the job with 8 games, last 8 games.
Yeah,
mid-season.
Yeah.
He was tabbed, the defensive coordinator, to come in and make some changes. And there you go. Have not adjusted to the way the new football way is played because he's under that tree.
They all on that same frequency wave. Yeah, right.
Yep. They haven't figured it out yet. And boy, they still ain't tackling nobody. Matter of fact, somebody just scored just now.
Yeah. Give me Flores. I'll take Flores. Yeah, I definitely would take Flores. And
now, see, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Flores. Yeah, my guy. Yeah, I
can definitely take Flores. Like I can roll.
And that's another name I'm surprised I didn't see on the list. But as I told y'all before on this show, if y'all follow me, y'all remember me saying what he did, turning them folks over in Miami, that was gonna hurt his coaching career. Yeah, he'll get a job as an assistant, as a position coach, but as far as a head dude, that might be impossible at this point.
Nah, they ain't gonna lie. That lawsuit definitely ruffled some feathers in the NFL brass for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, come on now. How could it not? It's in Flores, and then he stood on it. So
him and Kaepernick might as well meet for coffee and talk about the yesteryear because they in the same boat.
And Kaepernick not getting a quarterback job, and I have people in my family that would still believe that Kaepernick's going to get a job, and I just be like, man, I just really wish, because that's.
I think Gary Kubiak is done too.
I think he retired.
He had a couple of health scares the last couple of years he coached, so I don't think he calls back.
Yeah, they're a little late on Kubiak. I think they should have got Kubiak before they got Sarkisian.
Right.
That was the move. That was the move right there.
Yeah,
because you had to find somebody that was familiar with the offense, and Matt Ryan was still your coach. I mean, your quarterback, and it would have been a good match.
No, Crab Beerman ain't coming back.
I don't think he walking through. Honestly, if I could bring anybody back, you can bring me back, John Abraham, if I'm bringing back somebody.
Right. But she said we got 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. So y'all keep throwing the questions out there.
I like Antonio P. and bring Max C with you. Again, we bring Antonio Pierce in with Max Crosby. You definitely can say either Grady or AJ could possibly be gone. And
don't forget about Kingsbury with that too.
Yeah,
you get a 3-for-1. You can possibly get a 3-for-1 with Antonio Pierce.
I mean, possibly. It's possibly there.
And if you trade AJ to them, they may give you a 3rd or 4th round pick. So
third.
We'll see. But it's definitely something to think about.
Right. I got something else you want to think about. I'm trying to figure out what's taking so long for Jacksonville to re-sign Calvin Ridley so we can get this 2nd round pick. I'm gonna have to go down there and have a talk with old Con.
Man, look, the crazy part about it, if he don't resign, it's gonna be because somebody offered him more money. But
I'll take Calvin Ridley.
That is the perfect place for him in Jacksonville. A young quarterback, a young offense. He the veteran on the offensive side of the ball, so I think that's the perfect spot for him.
Down there, got Evan Ingram. Like they got a team down there now. They got a team. But speaking of, man, we're gonna have to come on back on here and start talking about indeed some edge rushers, some pass rushing. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, Dr. Ganja. Hope you're smoking lovely. But anyway, y'all think we go get a premium DE in free agency, Allen Burns or Hunter? I absolutely am on the Brian Burns train. He already is uncertain about his future in Carolina. I would love to burn the Panthers by going to go get Brian. So, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been all in on Brian Burns, and if it was anybody that I trade the number one pick for, it would be a pass rusher, just because this pass rushing draft is not the best. And let's just be honest, any one of those three guys that are down here in this comment are better than any pass rusher that's coming out of the draft this year. So you can possibly trade for Burns or something like that, or you can go try to sign Allen, who's a free agent. Danielle Hunter, I believe, because he's the sack leader, he definitely jumped leaps and bounds this season for real as far as with Minnesota and held that defense together. I believe he's going to ask for the most money out of these guys.
Yeah, but age ain't on his side. So
it's not. It's not. That's another thing. He's what, 30, 29? He'll be 30 next season. Is it 30, 31? So like he's around in there, and both of those other two guys are younger. You can use them more, and we need that pass rusher down here. We had almost 40 sacks, about 40 sacks this season. Cool. I just feel like if you had a guy like that coming off your edge to give the offensive coordinators just another guy to think about, you possibly could have had more, because a lot of sacks that we had was coverage sacks. Let's just be honest, a lot of them. So
let's throw a rookie in now. Let's throw a rookie in now. Dallas Turner from Alabama.
Dallas Turner from Alabama.
Dallas Turner,
yeah, number 15.
I stand on business. I still say that these three guys are better than him. And they're already proven. They're already polished. I ain't got to work with none of them. They come in, do their job. I ain't got to worry about nothing. I got to coach this guy up. I got to make sure I can coach this guy up.
But he's cheaper.
Yeah. You get to reset that position.
He's definitely going to be cheaper, 1,000%. But you got to pay for quality. When you go out to a nice restaurant, you got to go pay out for that filet mignon. You can't go to McDonald's and get a filet mignon nothing unless it's a filet of fish. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, in order to get somebody who's worth a damn, you're gonna have to pay a damn. So it's just, I'm just saying. And
I mean, I love Burns. I love Burns, but you know, again, Smitty will talk about that cap space money and all that. How do you finagle that to possibly finagle trying to move up to get a quarterback, also sign a DN, and you trying to get a cornerback? I mean, that's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, you can't do all of them. You're gonna do one. And like I said, the only way Brian Burns would come here, I would, if I can't move up the board to go get one of those top quarterbacks, I trade back, get more picks, and wherever I end up with that number one pick in the first round, I trade that to Carolina. And then, just use my picks to keep filling my roster out. But I'm looking for a quarterback first, no matter what. And like I said, man, going up the board ain't going to be easy, because you looked at the draft last year with Carolina and Chicago and what they had to give up. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all.
This man.
Salute.
Birdo.
I appreciate it.
Birdo. Somebody had a question too. You said, John, I could say who y'all choosing? Who y'all choosing if you had to pick between Okudah and AJ? That's easy. That's AJ all day long.
AJ.
Yeah, all day long, all night long, the weekend too, like all that. Like without question, it's gonna be AJ Terrell for me. Because Okudah be bullshitting. Yeah, man. Yeah, Brian Burns, Josh Allen.
Shout out to Yuri, man.
Yeah, man.
One of my Twitter partners. He always support the show, man. Appreciate you.
And he also won that was one of the winners to that giveaway too, man. So shout out to you for doing that as well. Smoke screen.
Thanks. We'll see. Only time will tell. But as she say, man, thank y'all for you know tuning into the show, man. We all appreciate y'all coming through, man. It's been another great show, man. My boy Alberto will be back soon. We're gonna cook up some for a pop-up show. So
Yeah.
whenever the news breaks of the new head coach, trust me, we got y'all. Cause
There you go.
we try to keep y'all in tune.
And
But
real quick,
also thank Blink and Stitch for running the chat for me, man.
as
She
always,
keep things popping, man. Appreciate it. But
gotta check her
HO,
out too on YouTube because she be doing her
yeah,
thing.
check her out. And y'all see that dope T-shirt I'm always wearing. I ain't got it on right now, but she made that. So if y'all want a T-shirt, man, please go check out Blake and Stitch. She can make any T-shirt that y'all want with any name that y'all want on it, any logo. So please go check
Okay,
out.
well,
Man.
I need to holler at her and Smitty. When you go cash in on this lunch, my money ain't gonna be too much longer.
Uh-oh. Gotta get that lunch,
I'm
man.
trying to
trust me,
feed.
man. I'm gonna try to catch up to you soon, man. That's just weekend always hectic for me, man.
All
Always.
right, well,
Chris will tell you that.
we have to do an evening or something because I'm trying to
Yeah,
feed you
evening
some of
works better
these.
during the week,
these
but
shrimp.
weekdays is rough for me. I mean, weekends rough for me, man. All the
I
time.
feel you.
But
So maybe
HO
like
man,
People out here
maybe
bullshit.
like a Monday or a Thursday.
Thursday fine.
Yeah. And hey, A1, hey, come on with it. I look, I'm treating. You know, I like to take care of my folks, man. I love the support, take care of my folks, and I promise you, I'm gonna take you to this spot that you go like. You won't even have the GPS no more because your stomach
I
will
know
find it.
exactly where it at. All right, bet.
Hey
Hey,
man,
one
I
thing
love to
about it,
eat.
man.
Food is my middle name.
Hey, man, I like to eat, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man, the shrimp
Yeah.
so big it take 2 bites to get rid of one. Hallelujah.
Uh-oh.
Look at her greedy ass. She said she wants some food too.
Mm, Of
Hey,
course.
listen, if you make me a t-shirt, all right,
Blink.
meet me there. Beat me there. Don't meet me there.
Right. Beat me there.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Hey,
yeah, so we
95 said they got pork chop sandwiches.
no, we ain't got the pork chop sandwich.
it's always
Yeah,
Birdo.
but
First he
yeah,
want pumpkin pie. Now he want pork
I'm
chop
blaming
sandwich.
John Higgins for that. John Higgins gave him that pork chop sandwich and he stuck on it. So
yeah.
It's
We'll
your
have to
fault,
figure out a
John.
day, man, to get
Your
together
fault.
so we can get down there and I'm gonna have to show y'all some love for sure.
facts.
Okay, hey, man. We
But
can definitely.
quick thoughts on this, man. Before we get out of here, then HO, I'm gonna let you drop your
Oh,
line to tell people where to find you. I think
Okay.
Murray does get traded, but I think they're gonna get shortchanged, and that's all I can say about it.
as
What y'all
far as
think?
me, I don't want to trade DeJounte Murray. I'm not on the DeJounte Murray trade. I know he's swirling in trade rumors as well, but if the Hawks don't do something soon, they're going to have to make some kind of move because this team is failing and it's failing fast. They had high expectations this year to possibly make the thing with Trey and DeJounte work, and it just has not. And this front office needs to be held more accountable than I believe than what they are. I know people want to jump on Trey and jump on other players and everything like that, but at the end of the day, the front office and some of the moves that they've made just haven't been the best for the franchise, the brand, the logo. And
Yep.
honestly, man, I think DeJounte is gone too. I don't want him to be, but if you can get your picks back or some picks back to get out of draft purgatory, I mean, what can you do? Because you're already failing. You're already under 500, and your best players are like Trey, DeJounte, and Jalen Johnson right now with Sprinkle. And I know dang, I'm finna get into some Hawks talk now. I'm finna go into it because I'm about to mention DeAndre Hunter and his contract. I believe you need to keep him because his contract, I don't believe anyone's going to take him because of value. So you need to try to get him healthy and try to see if some possible way you can keep him healthy because what fails DeAndre Hunter is the fact that he starts to get in rhythm and he gets hurt. Then he falls out of the rhythm. And it's a constant cycle, and it's been like that since he's been in Atlanta. He's been drafted to be this baby Kawhi that he won't live up to. But he needs to just focus on being DeAndre Hunter and try to have production for the Atlanta Hawks, at least 15 a game. And you know what I'm saying, just continue to play defense, because he's the only wing defender that Trey has had on this team. So I mean, it's a lot going into the Atlanta Hawks, man, right now, and we're failing.
Yeah,
man.
we'll be talking about that till in the morning.
Right, man, right, because it's really personnel.
But Ho, what you think, man? You think he gets
Listen,
traded?
real quick, I got to follow with what A1 said. The leadership ability of the front office has failed us. They chose to cater to the culture instead of cater to winning, and it's not worked. I mean, you want to fill up the building with all these minority hip hop kind of folks, and that's why you drafted Trey Young to cater to the hip hopness or the Hollywoodness of Atlanta, and you just forgot about the winning of, and you starting to pick all these coaches where Lord Pierce is supposed to be this player developer, and nobody developed under him. It took 3 years for you to actually see what Jalen Johnson had because you wasn't playing, and now he's possibly your second best player on the team. But it's like, why wasn't he here last year? So I mean, it's a whole lot of going on with the Hawks leadership and picking the right development of the coach. I think they're hiring to cover up the leadership mistakes, as we know, as another organization is doing here in town. They're hiring people to cover up and being the scapegoat for some of the bad decisions that the leadership is doing. So as far as trading Murray, I mean, if you see yourself not making the playoff or getting into the actual playoff without going into the play-in game, then okay, cool. Why not? I mean, because it looks like ever since Tony Russell has been the owner, we've gone through 3 different coaches already, and it looked like he just bought the team just recently, but we already done had 3 coaches.
Yeah, I'm saying we can't keep hiring coaches. Can't keep hiring and firing coaches, y'all. You just can't keep doing that just because it's been so frequent for the Atlanta Hawks. You dig? And remember, just to cater real quick on your point, Ho. Remember the reports. Remember the tweets. I don't know if y'all were around, but remember the tweets when we first had the opportunity to draft Trey Young, and all the rappers and actors and everything that was like, oh yeah, Trey Young for the culture. Trey Young for the culture.
Right.
I remember that. And
some people said the Migos actually drafted Trey Young instead of
they were the hardest supporters, and that's why they're so close right now. They were some of the hardest supporters, especially Quavo. Quavo was in on it. And we did draft Trey. I still believe we drafted a point guard, and that's really what we needed. And I think it was a little mystery around Luka, but also it was more inspired by the culture. So I believe it was both of those things. So I mean, and as far as I see down there by AJ Griffin, because they're in love with Bogey. They're in love with Bogey is why AJ Griffin is not getting a lot of playing time anymore. Bogey is taking all the minutes along with those other little guys who run around like, it's like the Garrison Matthews and the Wesley Matthews, like guys like that. Like they're all taking time away from AJ Griffin, and they shouldn't. I think AJ should still be able to find a role here, but it's Bogey. Bogey's having a pretty good season. But if you look at Bogey's stats, and I just want you guys I got a little homework assignment for y'all. Look at Bogey's stats since DeAndre Hunter has been hurt. Once you do that, come holler at me and talk to me and tell me about how Bogey's numbers have changed since DeAndre Hunter. I know a person who what does DeAndre Hunter mean? It's the little things that DeAndre Hunter does to open up for Bogey. So it's little things, man. You just got to look at it and let me know what you guys think since DeAndre Hunter has been hurt. Look at Bogey's stats.
Yeah.
So Bird Game brought up a good point, but my question is, even with Luka here, did we have the coaching staff that will allow him to be Luka, or would Luka have regressed in Atlanta based on our coaching choices?
We still wouldn't have won anything.
To be honest, I think we missed out on a superstar moment because we had Luca in Atlanta from the jump. I think Giannis would have come to Atlanta because he only re-signed with Milwaukee because Coach Bud was his coach. And if Bud wasn't the coach in Milwaukee, he would have not have resigned that max deal. So I feel like we missed out on so many things by getting rid of Bud. And another, and I'm gonna tell y'all might not agree with this, but ever since Danny Ferry left this team has went straight down here.
I agree.
I understand, because that's a basketball mind in the front office, like a real deal basketball mind in the front office.
Yeah, I agree. See,
I mean, Landry Fields, I know he played, but did he really? I'm just saying, man. I mean, did he really? I remember Danny Ferry, like I really do remember Danny Ferry, but I'm just saying, like, you know, and I know
he came from a basketball family like the Shanahan, so he knew what he was doing.
Just saying,
he learned from some of the best. But this has been a great show, man. And before I go, man, it's cold out here tonight, man. Y'all, please wrap up if y'all got to go out tonight. Leave your faucets running because we don't need busted pipes, man. Trust me, they're not cheap. And
they're not.
Please make sure you have your fridge stocked because, you know, we just don't never know what this weather going to bring. But before we get out of here, man, H.O., tell everybody where to find you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. First of all, I appreciate y'all having me on. Let's do it again. Let's go eat somewhere and all that. But find me tomorrow, 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, SRT Sports Talk Radio, 2705 on YouTube. And you can find us on SRT Sports Talk Radio on YouTube. We'll both be live on both platforms, live tomorrow, 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And go to the website, srtradio.com. I haven't updated it lately, but one day I'm going to get Smitty to write me a couple of articles about the Falcons, and we're going to put it up and let that fly, let that roll.
Hey, there you go.
And there it is. So we're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling. But, yeah, tune in tomorrow, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. And before I actually go, I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to give y'all a preview of what we're going to talk about. Okay. Real quick, Smitty. So it ain't gonna take long.
Okay.
Would you rather come off the bench, average a small amount of points, like 6 points a game, and win a ring, or start, average 35 points, have a top 3 contract in the league with no ring and no playoff?
That's easy. I come out the bench and win that ring because that ring gonna make me more money down the road.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I think I'm gonna go the other way. I think I'm gonna go with averaging 35 because that averaging that 35, I'm thinking about different things like endorsements. I'm thinking about different things like that money that I'm going to get, that top 3 money that I get. I can take care of my family. I can break generational curses. I can break chains in my family, my immediate family, and take care of them. I can take care of my mom. I can, give her the house that I wanted to give. I can give myself things that I feel like I deserve. I may not win a ring, but at the end of the day, as a man, I took care of my family and I took care of myself.
You can buy a ring.
I can buy a ring. I can go ring chasing at the end of my career, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, just from somebody who doesn't come from money at all, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go average my 35, get my endorsements, probably get me a shoe deal, get me more money. I'm probably gonna do commercials because I'm averaging 35, so you want to see me, so I'm gonna do commercials, get me more money.
I think
take care of my family.
I think you thought about this before. You don't thought about this before, ain't you?
No, I really no, bro. No, man, that's just where I'm at for me, man. I'll be the guy like, I want to win always. I hate losing, but at the end of the day, I'm winning in life because I'm taking care of my family, myself, and I'm handling my business. using that money to create more wealth, because that ring, how many guys have rings and had to pawn that guy? Not going to be this one.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's true. But that type of feeling of winning a championship, though, that's something that sticks with you forever, man. And that's what I'm thinking. That feeling of winning the ring, man, that would supersede anything. I can make the money that I'm making. I can make that stretch. So,
it's like really no right or wrong answer right there.
Right.
It's all perspective. It's all perspective.
Yeah, it's no right or wrong answer. I just wanted to throw that out, but y'all will get my answer tomorrow. How about that?
Hey, we got to tune in. So that means y'all got to tune in now.
Yeah, you got to tune in to get my answer. So yeah,
I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link on my Facebook tomorrow. But
there you go.
A1, tell everybody where to find you, man.
Hey, man, YouTube, A1 Forever Sports. Please make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, watch the videos, come in and have some conversations, because I'll talk to anybody, man, seriously. And, so I say on YouTube, we just crossed 531 subscribers. Very blessed and thankful. It feels like 5 million to me. So, because I appreciate the little things. So, that, like I said, on YouTube, A1 Forever Sports. Twitter, you can find me A1 Rock, or type in A1 Forever. I'll still come up. On Twitter, X, Twix, whatever you call it. On what it is, the TikTok, I am the real A1 Forever on TikTok, man. Of course, A1 Forever on Instagram. You can find me on any one of those platforms. Come by, say hello, say what it do. Hey, we can talk. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. But HO, man, it's been a blast, man. I always enjoy, talking sports with you, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
We got to do this again before
on your show.
Oh no, you ain't starting nothing, man. You added to it, and we appreciate you.
Hey, man, it's an open platform at all times, bro. I tell that to all my guests. Some of them I have on 2-3 times, and some on one time. But hey, one thing about me, you can always come back, because without y'all, there would be no Smitty Sports Machine. Trust me when I tell you that. But for my boy Chris, my boy HO, like I said, man, y'all keep safe out there. Stay warm and stay in the house if you can. But we're going to take y'all on out with this dope outro, I mean.
Generation.